to the podium and, calling out fat cat bankers. I think the frustration on the left is that on substance, on policy, there has not been sufficient regulation. I think Dodd-Frank, on rhetoric, sort of boxed Wall Street into a corner, but on substance, derivatives, margins, leverage, these sort of substance issues have not been fully addressed.
But they won. J.P. Morgan had to split off everything. Their whole profitability.
Wait, Jim. They won? They won?
They won.
You have banks making more money over the past 12 months than any time ever. They
Bank of America, they're not making money.
Well, other than Bank of America, look at these other banks. They're doing great. It's just you talk to, anytime we go out, we always love talking to you. What do you do? Oh, I'm in real estate. How's it going? Miserable. When's it going to turn around? Maybe in 12, maybe in 13. And we do that for everybody. I see a banker. How's it going?
Great.
Like you said downtown. I said, when do you think things are going to turn around? And you're smirking. They laugh in my face.
Look
They said,
at Cramer.
and this is what they say.
Because the regulations
This is what
are
they
real.
say. This is what he said. We had the best year we've ever had.
Well, they got rid of Bear and Lehman. How could you not? Those were the price
please
cutters.
don't tell me the bankers lost.
They got rid of Walmart and Target. They got rid of Walmart and Target, the guys who gave the business everyday low pricing banking. They got rid of them.
And yet you're acting like the Obama administration has trotted out Trotsky to destroy the banks.
I said Lenin.
Okay, or Lenin.
Because the workers do not own the means of production.
The bankers won. The bankers won. The bankers always win. They always win.
Is there some reason why you can't go be a banker if you want to? You sound jealous.
Do you know, I have been asking our good friends right now at Goldman Sachs for years. Willie and I want to be hired by Goldman Sachs.
I can set that up.
So I'm very straightforward about this. I want to win even when I lose.
Exactly.
Seriously, who was on here last week that said, Gabriel, it's very simple. We socialize the losses but privatize the
profits,
gains.
and that's the debate, and that's the frustration. And people look to this relationship between Washington and Wall Street and say perhaps there's a coziness here that prevents sort of substance level change.
Why didn't Geithner then keep hold of all that? He had owned a lot of stock in banks, made a lot of money. How come the government didn't take that?
There was a coziness.
Mike, let me ask you this question, Mike Barnicle. Why is it that for single mothers, we always preach capitalism, and yet to Wall Street banks, we preach socialism? And it's what we do. We seriously, seriously, the problem is the welfare system is destroying the fabric of workers, which is great. I'm a capitalist. I believe in capitalism. Why don't we apply those same modes, those same beliefs to Wall Street? Because we don't. Anybody that says that I am somehow playing Huey Long for saying that we privatize the losses, but privatize the gains. That's the reality of it.
You do not have to be as smart as Peter Orszag is to figure this out. It's an age-old axiom that no matter how much legislation you pass, Dodd-Frank, no matter how much legislation you pass, the banks are going to figure out how to make money.
But now they're raising the fees for all of us who actually paid our money back. My checking account, they're raising my fees. Every time if you want a statement, they're going to raise your fees. It's all got to be electronic.
Yeah.
This is how they have to make money some way, is the way they would tell you.
Who?
The bankers.
I got no problem with the bankers making money. My problem is that capitalism is perverted in the process.
Well, and I think that is because we've had this is not a partisan issue. Both Democrat and Republican administrations for the last 30 years have had the belief that what's good for Wall Street is good for America. And I think there is now a whole debate that is happening about whether we should have this sort of symbiosis between Washington and Wall Street. And whether there should be
what's good for municipal workers good for the country?
Here's the bottom line, though, Jim, as far as the banks go. No, don't get me started on municipal workers. But I'll talk about them just as well. But the bottom line is, I was there for 8 years. I had people on Wall Street come up to me and go, we don't want it. All we want is a level playing field. No, they all were constantly looking for advantages. They all perverted the tax code.
Because they have to maximize their profit.
If they want to do it, that's fine.
But we need sufficient regulation.
They need to be pushed back.
And to establish some distance between the policymaking and financial industry.
And by the way, Mike, I am a capitalist. I am a pure capitalist. I love free markets. But I want that to apply not just to middle-class Americans. I want that to apply to Wall Street as well.
Well, part of the answer to the question that you raised, when you scrape it all away, is there's something fundamentally wrong with a system in the 21st century where the single mother that you mentioned can pay a higher percentage in taxes than a Warren Buffett can. Right. There's something fundamentally wrong with this terribly flawed tax system.
To answer your question as to whether the banks always win or not, I remember back in 1986, the way Don Regan got Ronald Reagan to go to tax reform is by saying, do you realize that General Electric, who you worked for, pays less taxes than your secretary?
Yeah.
And it made Reagan angry, and so that's when Packwood, everybody said tax reform. Here we are.
This is not a partisan
right
issue.
now.
Reagan was a great banker at Merrill Lynch. He was a great banker, and he had very great sensitivity to the regular person.
What's a great bank?
He built
But guess what?
He survived, and he didn't go to jail.
But guess what, though, Jim?
Low barrier.
Jim, your secretary. Okay, here we are from 86, 25 years later.
She made 400 G's, my secretary.
Okay, well,
she made 400 G's.
Can I have that job?
When I was at that hedge fund, I would never pay less than 400 G's.
Let me make then another point. Let's say a secretary making $30,000 a year still pays more in taxes than does General Electric and a lot of other corporations. Americans just don't get it. And I love GE. They bring good things to life.
Okay, I'm going to
No, you're right. You're right.
But,
And at Goldman, that's why we paid our secretary so much more than everybody else.
I want to be your secretary. My God.
I want to work at Goldman.
All right,
Send you my
Dave
resume.
Sherman, The Magazine. Thank you.